Picture this. You sit in the IELTS speaking test. The examiner hands you a card. It says, describe a person you admire. You've got 1 minute to plan and 2 minutes to talk. Sounds simple, right? But here's the challenge. You need to choose the right person quickly, find the right words, and show the examiner clear, fluent English. You need to prepare for it. That's what we'll do today together. I'll show you how to plan in 60 seconds what vocabulary and idioms will make your answer shine and how to build a clear structure you can use again and again, whether you're talking about a sportsman, a teacher, your grandmother, or even your best friend. So when the examiner says you have 1 minute, don't freeze. Just do this quick thing. Write down four things only: who, the name or role, the sports person, the teacher, your grandmother, your friend. Two, why admired? Why you admire them? Their discipline, their kindness, leadership, talent, creativity. Three, qualities. Three short words: hardworking, generous, patient, or some other words that you like. 4. Examples. One or two actions or achievements that they've done. That's all you need. That's enough to talk for 2 minutes. So let's try it. Say you choose Cristiano Ronaldo or any sportsman. So with him, who is he? A football player. It could be an athlete, it could be a basketball player, it could be a tennis player. Why do you choose him? Discipline. All famous sportsmen have discipline. The qualities, they usually have the same qualities as well. So it's like hardworking, focused, and resilient. And the examples of their achievements, their goals, and their strict training, the prizes they won, and things like that, what they have done. Let's try your best friend, Sarah. Who is she? My best friend. Why? Because she's kind. She shows kindness. Qualities: she's supportive, she's funny, she's reliable. And her achievement, what has she done? She helps me with my study. Or she just cheers me up. And that's why she's such a good friend. So just simple things like these. So do you see the same structure and you can apply it to different people, even to your teacher, can have the same whys, same qualities, and the same achievement. So it shouldn't surprise you if you practiced this drill. As you prepare for different topics, you need a vocabulary list. You need to build vocabulary for different kinds of people, for different topics. Here are some that you can prepare for different kinds of people. So the qualities of admired people are generally much the same: hardworking, disciplined, determined. For example, my teacher was disciplined. She stayed late every day to help weak students like myself. Another quality: kind-hearted, generous, caring. My grandmother is the kindest person I know. She always cooks for neighbors in need. She's very generous. It can be your friend. Your friend is the kindest person you know. Or even the football player. Cristiano is the kindest person I know. Why? Because he donates his money to the poor. Other words: resilient, strong, brave. For example, I admire my friend Tom. Because even after failing twice in his exam, he didn't give up on his business dream. That's resilience. Or another thing, creative, talented, inspiring. I admire the singer who writes songs that give people hope. I admire Sarah because she knows how to sing and write music. She's creative and talented in music. Other words can be charismatic, influential, a role model. So if you're talking about this, a role model is often someone you admire. Your grandmother can be a role model for you. Your sportsman can be a role model for you. Or your friend can be a role model for you. So using charismatic, we can say, my sports coach is charismatic. He speaks, the whole team listens. So these are some phrases that you can use when describing achievement. Learn them, they're very useful. They can be used in other situations, but especially when you're talking about achievements, what your friends, the person you admire, because of what they did. So achievement phrases. For example, he broke the world record in the 100 meters, or the club record. So it doesn't have to be the world record. It can be the school record. It can be the state record, or it can be just a club record. She was the first in her family to graduate from university. So that's an achievement. She graduated with high distinction. He was the first in his village to study in university. He built a small business that now supports hundreds of families. What he did, he built a small business. What did your grandmother do? Can be something simple. My grandmother raised 6 children alone and gave them all a good education. She raised 6 children alone. That's an achievement. Other can be admiration, admire, why you admire this person. I really look up to her. I look up to her because of what she does, because of who she is, and all the qualities that we mentioned above. We look up to her. Another admiration phrase, he sets a great example. For me, my grandmother sets a great example. So the phrase is sets a great example. My teacher sets a great example, a good example for me. And then this is another phrase. What I admire most is. What I admire most is his patience, his kindness, his generosity. So you can say a lot of things. What I admire most is. And another one, she's the kind of person I hope to become. He's the kind of person I hope to become. So this phrase can be used for all situations, for any context, any person that you're speaking about, because you admire them, you love them, you look up to them. So you hope to become like them. He has qualities. So we talk about the different qualities that these people have. So you can say this as a general rule. He has qualities I try to copy in my own life. He has qualities. So you talk about what qualities he or she has, and then you can say, yes, he or she has the qualities that I like to copy in my life. Now, quick exercise. You can stop, think about it. This is also your preparation time. Think of your person now. Think of the person. think and say aloud, I really look up to, who is that? Because he or she is so what? What I admire most is. So these are the phrases you can use. I really look up to my friend because he's so generous, he's so kind. What I admire most is he spends a lot of time helping people. He helps me with my homework. That's why I look up to him. That's why I admire him. More tips to enhance your English and your answers. We use idioms and expressions, common idioms, common expressions in your answers. So learn them. They can be useful in all sorts of topics, not just this one. But we learn it in context of something. So idioms are very useful, very colorful. They are like seasoning in cooking. But don't use too much, not too many, just one or two. But they show natural English. Let's look at 5 in this topic. Examples across different people that you can use. 1. Against all odds. Succeed despite difficulties. So that's against all odds. 3 words, against all odds. So with the sportsman, we can say he won the title. He won the competition against all odds. What's the odds? He had a serious injury. So to putting it all together, you would say he won the competition against all odds after a serious injury. That means people didn't expect him to win, but he won against all the odds. You can use that for your friend. She finished her degree against all odds while working 2 jobs. So it's a very hard thing, but against that, she still finished her degree. So against all odds. She finished her degree against all odds while working 2 jobs and looking after 2 children. About your grandmother, you can say this. My grandmother raised a family of 6 against all odds in a poor village. So we said earlier, I admire my grandmother because she single-handedly raised a family of 6 children all by herself. So against all odds, she did that. It was hard, she was poor, but she did it. My grandmother did it against all odds. Raise the bar. So this is a good one. Raise the bar. So the bar is here, you raise it. So set a higher standard. So with your teacher, you can say using this, raise the bar. My teacher, my English teacher raised the bar by expecting us to write essays every week. So you can use that for your own English, your own English study. I'm trying to raise the bar of my English by reading books, by listening to YouTube videos every night. I'm raising the bar. In the sportsman context, you can say, he raised the bar in tennis with his powerful style. That means the bar was here. This is the standard, but he raised it to a higher level because of his powerful style. With your friend, you could use it too. My best friend, Sarah, raised the bar for loyalty, raised the bar for generosity, or whatever it is. So everyone is this generous, but he was more generous. Everyone is quite loyal, but he was more loyal. So he raised the bar. He was always there when I needed help. Not every friend is there, but he was there. So he raised the bar for helpfulness, for loyalty, for generosity. This one you should already know. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, you can use this here. Her singing shows that practice makes perfect. The sprinter proves that practice makes perfect. Hours in the running exercise made him unstoppable. She shows us that practice makes perfect in public speaking. In anything, practice makes perfect. Simple to use. Never say die attitude. Never say die attitude, which means refuse to give up. Never say die attitude. So when you say phrases like this, you have to say them in one breath. Practice saying it until your tongue muscle and your voice is automatic. Never say die attitude. So it's two phrases. Never say die attitude. When he was losing, he has a never say die attitude. That means he never give up, even though he was losing by a lot. He fought on, and eventually he won. It's the never say die attitude. My friend, she has a never say die attitude in job hunting. She keeps looking for job after job, even after rejection. That is a never say die attitude. My teachers' never say die attitude inspired me to study harder. So it's a very inspiring attitude because we never give up. My friend never gives up. The sportsman, the sports person never gives up. It's very inspiring. The last expression, role model, someone you follow and admire. So that phrase captures this concept of the person you follow and admire, the role model, someone that you like to model, follow after, the role, what he does, what she does. So your grandmother, she's a role model of patience and kindness. She's a role model of something. My friend, he's a role model for me in how to balance study and fun because he does it very well. He's a role model. Or with the sports person, he's a role model for the young people everywhere because he's hardworking, he he's kind, and he's supportive. He's very generous. So he's a role model. So there are 5 idioms here. Choose one and fit it to your person. Say it aloud. Use it. Who is your role model? My role model is my father. My role model is my friend. Why? Because he or she has a never say die attitude. Never say die attitude. So those are the ingredients for your talk. They are the things that you can use in your talk, in your description of the person you admire. So now let's shape it all up together. You can use this blueprint, this structure. One, introduction, obviously, who the person is. Like, I like to talk about my grandmother. Or I like to talk about Lionel Messi, the football player. I like to talk about my best friend, Sarah. Two, the background. Why? What have they done? So you go on from there. Your grandmother, she raised 6 children and supported the family all by her own. Or the sports person. Oh, he's the world champion with many records. Three, the qualities. Why do you admire them? Why did you choose them? So your grandmother, she's patient, generous, she's wise, or she's hardworking. Your best friend, yes, he's hardworking, disciplined, resilient. So you can use all these vocabulary words that you learn. And then 4, connecting. how it affects you. You have introduced the person, you have said why you admire them, what they have done, and how does it affect you. So that's the most important part as well. Bring yourself into the picture so that it becomes a very relatable story, that it's a real story, how it connects to you. So you can use the words, she inspires me to treat people kindly. He motivates me to train harder and stay focused. Because he does that, he trains hard, he stays focused. So he motivates me, he inspires me to do that too. He's the role model. So now a mini practice. Choose one person and say one sentence from each part. That's your 2-minute speech skeleton structure. So here's a short 40-second description of my friend Sarah. I like to talk about my best friend Sarah. We met at high school and she's been my closest friend ever since. What I admire is her loyalty. For example, when I was preparing for exams, she stayed up late to help me. She has a never say die attitude, even when life is stressful, and she keeps her sense of humor. Because of her, I've learned to be more patient and supportive myself. She's truly a role model in my life. See, simple, personal, and natural. Now, some common worries. What if I forget the facts? So just use phrases like, as far as I know, she studies from 6 to 10 every night. She's very hardworking. She believes that practice makes perfect. If you run out of ideas, go back to the 4 parts. Look at your piece of paper where you've written the points and think about the background. You can go back to background. Tell me more about the person. Maybe a bit more about the qualities. You would have written, 1, 2, 3 qualities of the person. And you can always go back to connection, how it connects to you, how the person has affected you, influenced you, and why you think that they are a role model. Or you can repeat the same idea, repeat the idea and say it differently. You don't need rare words. You just need clear, simple words that are strong, stronger than complicated ones. So here's your practice challenge. This is a long video. There are many parts. There are vocabulary words. There are structuring. There is the idioms and expression. So you can focus on each part slowly, revise them. You cannot learn everything in one sitting. Go back, go back in parts and go through them again and apply them in your own story. So write down 3 people you admire: sportsman, sportsperson, a teacher, a family member. And for each of these, make quick notes using the 1-minute drill like in the exam setting. Who, why, qualities, examples, and connection. Then practice a 2-minute answer with the structure, with a 4-part structure. And remember, in the next video, I'll give you 3 full Band 7 model answers. One is about a sportsman, one about a teacher, and one about a grandmother. Listen, shadow, and adapt them. That's how you'll be ready on test day. See you in the next episode to follow.